Hello everyone, the Duke here, and today is my full review of the FreegoEV ES10 electric scooter. If you want to skip the video, here's my synopsis. I believe this would be a great scooter if you are willing to modify it. I am not, and that's why I'm going to return it. I've had it for about a week, and my opinion from my impressions video hasn't really changed that much. I still don't like that the handle is too short, and I tried some things like trying to shove the cables up more. I couldn't get it fixed. I can't stand on this thing because I'm too tall, and the seat, while I'm not as opposed to it as I was before, it does get a little uncomfortable after like 30 minutes. I tried off-roading this thing, and to be honest, the front suspension feels like it's non-existent and I don't see a way of adjusting it. Also, when I was off-roading and going over some bumps on the road, this locking hook right here did pop up. Now the scooter never folded on me, but that was a little worrying. Charging on this, I had it charged. It says it's supposed to charge for 4 to 5 hours, and I had it charged for 8 because on the little brick you have a little red light, never went green. And when I unplugged it finally, because I was like, okay, it's got to be done now, it was said it had 4 bars, but then it immediately went down to 3 when I tried it. So the charging is very iffy on this, and the charger also feels really cheap. It's very light. I mean, compared to my Highboy charger, that one feels leagues ahead in terms of quality, but this one just feels really cheap, and I would be worried if I had it charging overnight. I was not able to get to the max speed on this thing of 32 miles an hour, or 30 to 38 according to it. I only got to 29 miles per hour, and I even tried going downhill, and it does have an electronic limiter limiting it. The brakes on this thing, they don't feel as bad as they did before. I'm used to e-braking, which is super nice, which I wish this thing had, but for $900, there's obviously some cutting that has to be made. The portability on this thing is kind of poor. It takes up the entire trunk space of my Camry, especially with the seat. Now, as a few pros, the hill climbing on this thing is great. I love dual motors. This one can climb hills left and right, and it keeps up 25 to 27 miles per hour. It does not drop down. The headlights, they work great at night, and the display right here, you can see it when the sun is out. It's actually a really nice display. The key is a nice security feature, and the horn is decently loud. Now, the scooter is okay, but I just don't really trust it with the charging, and also it kind of rattles a lot. I mean, it's only a week old, and my Highboy, which I'm comparing it to, which yes, it's like a $500 scooter compared to a $900 scooter, the Highboy just feels much more premium compared to this thing. With the charging and also it lacking a steering dampener, I just don't feel comfortable going at high speeds, and I'm wondering about how long it'll last. Now, I want to preface this saying you might really like this. Again, it's a $900 dual motor electric scooter. That's not something I've ever seen. I mean, some of them are like $1,000 or $1,050, but this is the cheapest one I've seen, and of course there's going to be some cost cutting. If you're willing to overlook that and maybe do some modification, like if you want to stand on it, making, adjusting the brake cable, I could see it being a great scooter. And also, you might like the loose steering. I know some people like it being really hard, and some people like it being, well, non-existent like this one. The charger is something that probably could be replaced, and I saw in some YouTube comments saying their support was really bad, but I had a great experience. It took a day for them to respond. We went back and forth. They sent me a label. I sent everything back in the original box, and right when it got delivered to them, they gave me $850 back, which is because they had a $50 restocking fee. This thing does not have solid tires, which is probably good. I've just heard it's a massive pain to change out flats on a scooter. Now, the one thing I did not thoroughly test was the range. However, I was going around my neighborhood, which is fairly hilly, and went around 10 miles on one charge, and it only went down a bar. Although on another test, when I was doing it off-road, and I will admit, I and my friends were going pretty hard off-road at max speed, full power. It went down 3 bars and only went 4 miles, it said on the speedometer. So obviously, I mean, off-road is going to take a toll on the battery, but I wouldn't trust what it says about it, although every scooter company says, oh, our scooter gets 25 miles range, and of course in the little text is at the minimum speed under all the optimal conditions. This thing, it says it has a 40 mile per hour range, 40 mile range, but I'd say it's more around 30, although I did not thoroughly test it, and I apologize about that. Also, something else, and I've seen this on some other videos, and a friend noticed this actually, the speed modes. You apparently have 1, 2, and 3, and 1 is around 20 miles an hour. The second one, however, I didn't test a lot, but according to my friend and some people I've seen online, there is no difference between the second and third mode. It's just, I mean, I think there's only 2 modes on this scooter. I thought mine may have been broken, but I've seen this in another video and another person noticed it. And it's not a big deal, but it is just something else to note. Also, despite it being as tight as it can be, the handlebars will twist. Like, you might not be able to see in the video, but they cock slightly to the right. To conclude this review, I didn't mean to go too hard on it. Again, it's a $900 electric scooter that if you're willing to modify, I think you could make it work and it would be a really good commuter, probably. For me, I don't trust it, I don't know how long it's gonna last, and this may just me being superstitious or whatever, but I'm just not a big fan of it, and I'm gonna look for something different. Again, you might really like it, but I don't. I hope you enjoyed the video, and this has been the Duke, signing off.